morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching our program. I am Jeff England from the Fort Polk Public Affairs Office, and this is the Fort Polk Podcast. Today, we have a really cool show. We got a cool guy over here, Soldier 13 Bravo, that is a Cannon Crewmember, the big howitzers and big cannons, and they shoot the fun stuff like wax. But anyway, with me today, I have got Sergeant First Class Michael Turcotte, and he is with the 310. He's with the, 525 Field Artillery. How's it going?
It's going well, Jeff. How are you?
I'm all right, brother. So thanks for coming over. I appreciate it when people show up. It helps.
And I appreciate you got my name right. You practiced a lot before we got in.
I did. I had to write it in phonetics and spell it out with all the little... So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself, like where you're from and all that stuff.
So my name is Sergeant First Class Michael Turcotte. I am originally from Connecticut. I try not to claim it too much. Sorry.
Yeah, that's me in California.
Sorry to anybody from Connecticut, but I actually love it here in Louisiana, and one day I'm going to be a Louisiana resident permanently. But yeah, born and raised in Connecticut. I joined the Army when I was 20 years old, and here we are 17 years later.
Ah, so you've been in for 17 years.
That's right, sir. Nice.
And why'd you join the military? And why did you join the Army over all the other branches?
So I always kind of wanted to join the military, and once I graduated high school, I kind of got lazy, and I just needed the right nudge.
Yeah, lazy and Army really don't go together.
They don't go together, but I got the right nudge from the right person. I had a cousin who just finished basic training. He was back home for a little bit, and I said, hey, you want to hang out? And he said, hey, yeah, I actually have to go to the recruiting station today. Do you want to come with me? And I was like, sure, why not? So that was Wednesday, and I was off to basic training the next Monday.
That quick?
That quick.
Dang, I had to wait 6 months. I was in a delayed enlistment program.
Oh, okay. I mean, I joined in 2008. We needed soldiers in 2008, so they made it quick.
Yeah, I joined in 92.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it was last millennia. Seems like 1,000 years ago. So when you were joining the military, I mean, I guess you didn't have a lot of prep time and stuff like that. Did you have a general idea on what kind of career field you wanted to get into?
I honestly had no idea. Like I said, I was at the recruiting station on a Wednesday. I went to MEPS. I did my ASVAB. I passed. Came back to choose my job, and I got a list. My recruiter said, "What do you want?" I said, "Something cool." He says, okay, well, you got to get a combat MOS. And I said, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do that. He gave me 3 options. It was a Cannon Crewmember, it was a Cav Scout, or a combat engineer.
And, well, lucky, I guess you're lucky you didn't go with Cav Scout since they're not around anymore.
That's right. I still got a job now 17 years later, so that's good.
And to top it all off, you got a very popular or very famous kind of position. I mean, everyone knows about the cannons, and at least, right. Out of all the weapons, all the large weapons that we use, I only know a couple names of a couple of them, and the cannon. The cannon is pretty much one of them.
Absolutely.
You get that, what is that? And now I forgot. It's a howitzer. That's it.
Yep, that's
howitzer.
Right.
There we go. So so when you were, was there anything special about the Cannon career field that really piqued your interest?
Honestly, no. I didn't know much about it. It's kind of a ridiculous reason why I picked it.
It almost seems like you joined on a whim.
I mean, it kind of was, I was in the right place at the right time. It's really what it was.
Apparently, I mean, 17 years later and you're still in, so that sometimes, making a quick choice works.
Absolutely, and I love my job, and I like to think of myself as pretty good at it. Here I am, and I've been successful so far, the 17 years going, so.
Nice. And okay, so as a 13 Bravo, I don't hear the cannons going off every single day around here. So why don't you take us through a normal day? And you're a platoon leader, so you have a bunch of people under you.
That's right.
So your job, you've gotten to the point, raised to the point of supervising and making sure everyone else does the job properly. So why don't you walk us through a day in the life of 13 Bravo?
Okay, so like you said, I'm a leader in the platoon. I do have a platoon leader. I do have a lieutenant that is the platoon leader. I'm his platoon sergeant, and it's my job to ensure that our platoon is trained and prepared to fight and win our wars. But on a daily, what the day looks like for me as a 13 Bravo, I show up to work before PT, I check my emails, figure out what's going on the rest of the day, and then I talk to my subordinate leaders, my sergeants and my staff sergeants, to ensure that they all understand what we're doing for that day. We start PT, we make it rigorous, we make it hard. We have a job to prepare warriors, so that's what we're out there doing. Between 6:30 and 9 o'clock, that's when we're going to win our wars, is by preparing our soldiers physically and mentally.
Now, is there a competition for like a like an EIB for cannoneers or cannoneers? Or?
So not, MOS specific. We do have Top Gun competitions where howitzer sections will compete against other howitzer sections. I believe it was 2 years ago. Everybody in the Army, all different artillery battalions, sent cannon crews to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, to compete in a best artillery competition across the entire Army.
Did you get to participate in one?
I did not. I was in Europe at the time, deterring Russian aggression.
Those Russians.
That's right.
So, was there anything that you might have, seen or been more intense than you were expecting? Like more exciting or more intense than you were
about being a Cannon crew member? I'll be honest, the first couple years in the Army, I spent a little bit of time in Korea. I spent a long time at Fort Drum, and artillery started getting a little bland. We would go out there and we'd shoot, and we would train. It was really when my platoon, when I was at Fort Stewart, we started doing a lot of air assault missions, and that kind of reinvigorated my love for the job. Was being able to do those little more unconventional type of tactics with inserting a howitzer behind enemy lines, firing some fire missions, and then getting out of there as quick as possible. It made it a lot more exciting. And
sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was absolutely.
And you did the airborne thing and jumped out of the plane with your cannon.
So we used helicopters. We hooked our helicopters up to the bottom of a.
Like a sling load.
Sling load, exactly.
Yeah.
We would sling load our howitzers. We would throw some ammunition on the howitzer. We would take off, go across the battlefield, unrig real quick, just enough. You'd shoot 6 rounds, hook back up, helicopter comes back in and takes you away.
That's got to be like the biggest weapon on an aircraft, right there.
You can actually put a Paladin, which is a pretty large cannon as well. You can put that on a C5.
Oh wow, that's a big plane.
Yeah.
When you're in garrison and when you're in the field, those are 2 totally different days, or
Absolutely.
totally different types of days.
Absolutely.
So you got the normal office day-to-day routine, maintenance kind of stuff. You got to take care of the things, and then you got the field day. What's your field days like?
So when we go out to the field to train, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to ensure that all my soldiers are getting up, getting ready for the day, getting ready to train. We're going to ensure every morning that our howitzers are prepared and ready to fire. The maintenance continues. We do our maintenance when we're here in garrison. We get there, our maintenance continues, so that way we can ensure that our equipment is always ready to work. As soon as we know that our howitzers are ready to fire, that's when the work really starts, and we start preparing ammunition. We have to move ammunition across the battlefield. It takes a lot of men and women to move that ammunition. They can be pretty heavy at times, and you got to move a lot of them. So,
yeah, I've seen the movies from like battleships, and their ammunition is pretty heavy too.
That's true. Yeah.
So they got so. When you go out there in the field, first you're firing real rounds as opposed to like ceremonies where you're firing, which I actually learned from one of the guys. The blanks are actually wax.
That's right.
And you guys love shooting wax because it's so easy to clean out of the cannon.
Oh yeah, it's the easiest thing. that wax, it just coats the inside like something fierce, and you're punching that tube, trying to clean that tube for the next couple days.
Why? I mean, isn't there a way that you can maybe get like a heated hose or something and like hot water or something just to melt the wax and get it to run out a little easier? Wouldn't that work?
I don't know, Jeff. Some soldiers have some of the greatest ideas I've seen in the Army came from soldiers, and I've never heard something like that. We might have to give it a try, though.
Because I mean, my stepson, when he was younger, poured a whole bunch of wax down the drain.
Yep.
And clogged up the drain. And the way I got it unclogged was just putting really hot water down there until it all melted and pushed down to a larger pipe.
So now that you mention it, I do remember when I was at Fort Stewart, we did have one piece of equipment that was like a pneumatic brush that would spin as you moved it down the tube of the weapon. I only saw one and it didn't work very well.
Ah.
It was always broken.
Well, maybe like a steam clean. Like when you steam clean engines or something.
We could probably, yeah, that's right.
Put a plunger down there with a steamer. That should clean it out.
Probably a steam vacuum. Get one of those.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Make it circular. Yeah.
So if there's any reward for a good idea, I'm right here. So now, I'm sure your rounds, I almost called them bullets, your rounds go a little farther than you can see. They're not over the horizon kind of stuff, are they? Or are they, how far out can those things go?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
Really far is what
different ammunition goes different lengths. We shoot the 105 in my battery, and those are going just over 20 kilometers.
Dang.
The bigger ones are going just about 30, little over 30 when you start talking rocket assisted.
So how do you know where they're going and where they're hitting and where you're supposed to be aiming if you can't even see your targets?
So there's a whole team. It takes a whole team to make this happen and make it happen right. Up there with our infantry where they're calling for fire because they need support for concealment or they need some destructive force. They have a forward observer that's up there with them. That forward observer is calling back to the rear, and they're saying exactly where they want that round to land. That mission goes from a forward observer to a fire direction center. That fire direction center ensures that it's safe for us to shoot there, and then they're also going to calculate exactly where I need to point my tube, my cannon, to ensure that the round lands where the forward observer wants it to land.
Yeah. So it's like what? Just a couple inches to the right.
Kind of, actually. We don't talk in inches. We talk in usually hundreds of meters. But it might be, hey, 100 meters to the right. Or, hey, add 100 meters. If it's falling a little short, add 100. If it's a little too far to the left, hey, move 100 meters to the right.
Now, how much? Now those two, I'm sure those two don't have a lot of physical effort other than having to get where you are, but I'm sure the cannons take a lot of physical effort because when you aim those like left and right, are you moving them physically?
So sometimes you do have to, especially the smaller cannons. Sometimes you do actually have to pick up the cannon on the wheels, and you have to move it around to move it a much larger distance. But generally speaking, you're pointing in the right direction that you're going to have to shoot, and it's all wheels. It's all wheels and gears, and it's generally pretty simple to aim your howitzer at that point. But if you have to do a big shift because somebody else that you weren't expecting needs rounds, yeah, you got to pick your howitzer up and you got to move it. That thing's heavy.
Yeah. So I'm sure it's a physically demanding thing. So what would you say was your most memorable mission or training experience, mission, something like that?
I'll say when I was a howitzer section chief, so a howitzer section chief is the one NCO that's in charge of firing that one specific cannon. I had a fire mission that we actually had a misfire on. It's called the hang fire. It's when there's a delay.
Uh-oh.
After you pull the trigger, there's a delay in the actual firing of the propellant charge. And one of my soldiers was about to open their breech when I heard the breech hiss, and I immediately recognized that as a hang fire, and I pushed him to the side, and then the cannon fired just before he had the opportunity to open the breech.
It's a close call.
Yeah, real close. Absolutely.
That would not have looked good.
Nope.
No, that would have been scary. What did the soldier think when you pushed him to the side?
He just kind of took a deep breath and was like, "Oh my goodness, that was close. That could have been really bad."
Thanks, Sergeant. Appreciate it. So now sometimes I ask really hard questions, but other times really, really easy questions. And since you've been in for 17 years, this is probably the easiest question that anybody will ever ask you.
Okay.
What are your career goals?
17 years. So yeah, I currently have one career goal. I guess maybe a couple. I want to get promoted one more time. I want to be a master sergeant and be a first sergeant of a Cannon battery. And then, I want to retire and finish my career off and spend the rest of...
Did you think that you would be lasting this long when you went to that recruiter that day 17 years ago?
At the recruiter, no, probably not. But I think a year or two in, I think my first duty station was South Korea. I was at Camp Hovey, and I remember seeing my platoon sergeant. His name was Sergeant First Class Gore. Nope, Sergeant First Class Foreman. And I just remember seeing him and being like, I want to be that guy one day. So for all intents and purposes, I've made it to that point, but I got 3 years left, and I'm gonna keep striving for one more.
Yeah, always keep striving. Always keep wanting more.
Yep.
So other than retirement, what about after you retire? What do you look at doing? Because I'm sure there's not a lot of Cannon jobs in the civilian job, but there are a couple, and a couple that are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so avalanche control at Lake Tahoe would be pretty cool. I'm sure they probably got those positions.
And you only have to work during the winter.
That's it. You just got to work during the winter. That'd be pretty cool. But honestly, when I get out, I'm trying to have a pretty simple life. I'm actually a beekeeper, so.
Oh, me too.
Really?
Well, I was more involved in bees, but then I got stung and had a slight reaction.
Yeah.
And so now I'm kind of a little standoffish, but I do still have a beehive, and I have to go out there and replace the boxes and the stand because it's leaning over.
Oh, yeah.
And the boxes are from an old box that died and got overtaken by wax moths.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of damage in there, in the woods rotting. And I've got a new box for them, but I have yet to go out there and do it. But I do that. And then the honey that I've got one bucket of honey that just sits in the garage, but I made some mead out of that and put some blueberry in it and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. So yeah.
One thing I love about beekeepers is that once you get beekeepers started, they're not going to stop.
No, not even if they're scared to get stung again.
So yeah, I get stung every single time, and yeah, it hurts every time.
Here's a trick. Get some blue nitrile, the thick, like mechanics nitrile gloves.
Yep.
They don't sting through those.
Okay.
Unless they get stuck on something. But the only thing that I don't like about it is they make your hands sweat.
Yeah,
but you'll never get stung through them. So
yeah, when I get out of the Army, that's my goal, is to just have a simple life, do that. Right now I've been doing it for 7 years. I have 5 colonies in my backyard, and when I retire, that's
5?
what I do.
Dang, that's a lot. Do you mow around them?
Of course. I got a pretty quick zero turn, so it's buzzing back and forth. Get away from them as fast as I can, because they'll chase you.
So they do that too. I've actually been chased all the way back to the garage. It's like they weren't happy with me.
Yep.
It's like, leave me alone. But I gave them some honey, and everything was happy again.
There you go.
So has this career field, the 13 Bravo career field, has it opened any doors or opened any opportunities for you?
I don't know about opening any doors or opportunities specifically.
Or maybe interests in the future?
I think it's definitely taught me how to follow. It's taught me how to lead. And, I joined when I was pretty young. I was 20 years old. I wouldn't have considered myself a leader at 20 years old, but I think that it's definitely made me a better person.
Yeah, I still don't consider myself a leader. So, what keeps you going in such a physically demanding career field?
I think the biggest thing that keeps me going is the job fulfillment that I receive when I'm working with a couple soldiers or a couple younger leaders, and we're working to figure something out together, or I'm helping them learn something, helping them train something, and seeing that light bulb go off in their head when they've figured it out. And they're like, yep, now I know what we're talking about. Now I know I can do this. I'm ready to go forward and teach the rest of my people. And it makes everybody better. And it's that feeling I get when I see a soldier smile because he's figured it out. That's really what keeps me going.
Nice. What about the first time you can? Oh, well, I'm sure you know when a soldier's first time firing the cannon is. Does it ever get old? To see that reaction, that first reaction when they fire the cannon?
No, I don't think so. It really never gets old. You'll be out there with a bunch of Cannon crew members, and most of them have done it before. But the moment you get that new medic or that new mechanic that's out there with your unit, and you're like, "Hey, Specialist Smith, come on over here. It's your turn to pull the lanyard," and they just smile ear to ear because it's like it's the loudest thing they've ever done in their life, and they have to smile about it, and makes you smile about it too.
Yeah, I had that experience with firing a 50 millimeter mortar. It was really cool.
Oh, absolutely.
So you've been to Korea, and where else have you been? I mean, 17 years. I'm sure you've been to a couple places.
Yeah, I've actually only been to a couple. A lot of people that have been in 17 years have probably been to 5 or 6. I spent 12 months in Korea, 5 years at Fort Drum, New York, 7 years Fort Stewart, Georgia, and now I've been here for 3.5 years.
Oh wow! Yep. So you never got to go to Europe. Wait, no, you did get to go.
I did do 9 months in Europe back in 2020, right when COVID kicked off. Actually,
so how fun!
That was a time for sure.
So out of all the places, where's your favorite?
I would have to say Fort Polk, Louisiana is my favorite.
Why is that?
So Fort Polk, there's a couple different reasons. It's a much slower pace. Like I said earlier on, I'm from Connecticut. Life moves too fast up there. You got to slow down. You got to enjoy your surroundings. Life's a marathon, not a sprint, and it's about the journey. It's a much slower pace here, where I know that I can enjoy my time with my family a lot more, and there's no traffic.
Yeah,
traffic for me is when I have to turn off onto 170, LA 171, and it takes me about 15 minutes to pull out onto the road. That's traffic for me, and that's okay.
Traffic for me is getting stuck by a train.
Oh yeah, we do that too. We do have a train right by our house.
So that's a big difference. I've seen some traffic, and this is nothing. Growing up, I had to go. I worked. It was like I'd have to leave 45 minutes just to get to work on time.
Yep.
Because of the traffic and getting there, and now I can leave half an hour. And I'm still here early.
Oh, yeah.
And I live twice as far from work now than I did back then.
Yep.
It's like, what? Crazy.
And I would say, actually, the number one benefit I see to Louisiana is anywhere you go in the country, you can pretty much get good food from all different varieties. But there's only one place in the country where you can get good Cajun food.
Yep.
And it's here in Louisiana.
Yeah, and I will never go to Connecticut for Cajun food.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to Connecticut for Cajun food.
Now, I'll go up there for like some clam chowder.
They got the good chowder up there for sure. But guess what? I can make a good clam chowder down here too.
Oh yeah, we could do that. I mean, we can order Old Bay.
That's it.
And some oyster crackers too. You got to get the oyster crackers. So I would say on a scale of 1 to what about those soldiers that are coming in? Of course, they're going to get culture shock and stuff if they're coming in from bigger cities and stuff. But what do you say to those coming in, the soldiers that are coming in, and they get their orders and it's to Fort Polk, and all they hear are all bad things? What would you say to those that are not looking forward to coming here? Or maybe the only experience they've had here is out in the box, which is supposed to be a bad experience.
Yeah, the box is supposed to be the worst experience. That's the final culminating event before you really hit the main show. But there's a few things about Louisiana. Louisiana is the sportsman paradise for a reason. Soldiers that kind of grow up in different areas. A lot of people fish. A lot of people hunt. There's a lot of great fishing and hunting here. And if that's not really your scene, It's unfortunate. We don't have many big cities around here. 3 hours to Houston, 4 to New Orleans. A soldier that's coming here, and this isn't really their kind of environment, I would say just use Fort Polk as a stepping stone. Get here,
Learn as much, yeah.
Make some good relationships with some people and learn as much as possible about your job as you possibly can, because you're not going to stay here forever. 3-4 years maybe, and you're on your way somewhere else.
And I always believe, and I truly believe that the best installation or the best assignment you've ever had is the one you just left.
That's absolutely right. The worst that's the common Army saying. The one that you're at right now is the worst one, and the last one is the best one.
See, I like, especially for the single soldiers and stuff, or people that like to go out and explore, I think festivals, the festivals that we have around here, Louisiana will have a festival for everything and anything. And then we're so close to Texas, and then Texas has all kinds of stuff like the Renaissance Fair, which I plan on going to again. You got Houston and Shreveport, and I mean, it's a drive, but I mean, there's no traffic, so you can go farther.
That's true. And I mean, speaking of festivals, Louisiana is the state of festivals, and we have Mardi Gras.
Yep.
And Mardi Gras is not just a day. Mardi Gras is a whole season, 3 or 4 months of just, awesome parades, awesome food, awesome entertainment. So, I mean, that's a good couple months there where you can really have some fun.
Yeah, that's it. And now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Mardi Gras the one time that I went to it, but I will never do it again. I think it's something that everyone should do once.
So what?
Because I was actually on Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
So at midnight they said it's now Ash Wednesday. Mardi Gras is over. Go home. And they had horses, followed by street sweepers, followed by cops, and it's like they pushed us off the streets. It was quite the experience.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, I've never gone to. I wasn't down there on Bourbon Street for Mardi Gras, but me and my family, we go every year the week prior. So there's still a lot of parades, and it's still a lot of fun, but it's a little bit more tame. It's a little bit more family friendly, and it's great for the kids. See those smiles on the kids.
And then of course you've got the other places that are close by. So.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, every town does a Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah, and then so as a Cannon crew member, what would you say? What kind of soldier makes a good Cannon crew member? Like if somebody was looking to join, what kind of person would you say makes a good cannoneer?
So I would say, a soldier a person that you're looking for a person to be a good Cannon crew member, you just need to find somebody that's willing to train. And I tell my soldiers every day, show up ready to do PT and show up ready to learn your job. That's all I ask of them.
Now, if somebody just became or is going over to take their ASVAB and they find that this is fun and they want to do this, what would you say to look out for, or what would you say about, or what would you tell somebody thinking about becoming a 13 Bravo?
I would let them know that it's a physically demanding career, and it's also technically demanding. Sometimes we get a bad rap as Cannon crew members, pull string, make big gun go boom. But it's actually it takes a lot of technical knowledge to fire it safely, and we got to fire it safely and we got to fire it accurately to help our brothers and sisters on the other end.
See, that's what I always get. That's what I always love about the teasing. Mm-hmm. It's like they tease until you're needed, and then after that it's thank you. They do that with the Air Force all the time. It's like, oh, the Air Force, the Chair Force, blah 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 blah, and then the A-10 comes in and clears the way for them, and it's like, oh. Thanks, Air Force.
Yeah, love those A-10s. They've definitely saved me a couple of times, for sure.
So, any final words for our watchers, our viewers? Anything that you might, especially the new soldiers coming in or considering it or anything?
I would just say, whether you're a Cannon crew member or anything else that you decide to choose to do in the Army, do it well. Do it well. And if the spots you're at isn't the spot you want to be, like you have choices. You can go other places, and you can even change your job. But whatever job you're going to do it well. Train and prepare to do the job in combat. That's
give it 100% because you never know what it will lead to.
Absolutely.
I mean, like my job, I started off as an airplane mechanic and ended up in broadcast, and then started in another career. I mean, each career led to another career field, and
absolutely,
and it all builds on each other.
And no matter what job you choose in the Army, you are going to learn and acquire a wealth of life skills, leadership skills, other skills with other technical aspects of your job that you're going to be able to use afterwards. Even if you don't want to do 20 years like me, you can do 5, 6, 8, 10 years, and you can get out with a backpack full of knowledge that's going to help you the rest of your life.
That's right. Well, Sergeant First Class Michael Turcott, I appreciate you coming in and sharing your existence and sharing your experience with us.
It was a great time, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
And hopefully we'll be able to get you back. Or maybe we can get some of your other people that help along, like the Juliets and the forward controllers and the
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the Juliets called?
We got the forward observers, and then we have the fire direction center.
All right. Well, until then, we'll just call this a day and. Thank you again for coming in. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Please leave a comment down below. Let us know who you'd like to see in the hot seat over here on the Fort Polk Podcast. But until then, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and be sure to leave a comment, and be sure to tune back in here on every Sunday that I can get one out. And until then, I will be seeing and watching at you later.
That was easy.